Alright, first up, let's say all praises to Yahawah, Yahawashi, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways, keeping this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps, right? And this is going to be basically a follow-up lesson upon the video I did on surnames, right? And we'll just look upon some surnames slash titles in the scriptures, right? And get people know about some of the personalities of some of the disciples, yo. That's why even we have to always give double honors to the elders, yo. Because even the elder Gabar, I'm always look, thinking pictures, right? I'm also stress, all of them always stress, look here, with crafts are in words. So we just need to study, yo. So this is let's start with Isaiah. We'll start with the titles given unto the Most High Yahawah, right? This is Isaiah 37 verse 16. It says, "O Yahawah, Lord of hosts," meaning the Lord of armies, whatever one be it can be referred to the moon, the sun, and the stars, like in the heavens, right? Because he's also known as God of heaven and earth, right? And Yahawah, Lord of hosts, power of Israel, or God of Israel, which is also another title, that dwellest between the cherubims, thou art God, right? Which God is also another title. Even though alone, and all the kingdoms of the earth, thou hast made heaven and earth, right? So it's so much titles just in this one thing. First, him say, oh, Yahawah, which is an proper name, Lord of hosts, meaning Lord of armies, that I want to title, God of Israel, which is the next title, right? He said, and then he said, thou art the God, right? Meaning thou art the power, even thou alone, right? So that's our four titles right off the bat, right? Um, right, and when I look up this is Romans 9 verse 29. It says, and as Isaiah said before, except Yahawah, except the Lord of Sabaoth had left us a seed, we had been as Sodom and been like Gomorrah, like been made like unto Gomorrah, right? Which is Isaiah 1 and 9, right? Second precept, behold, James 5 verse 4, behold, hear the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, cried, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, right? Now we just look up the word Lord and the word Sabaoth, and just basically get an understanding, which is Yahawah, but one of his title is Lord of Armies, right? The word Lord, exactly. He to whom a person or thing belongs, about which he has power of deciding, master or lord, the possessor and disposer of a thing, right? The owner, one who has control of the person, the master, right? In the state, the sovereign, the prince, the chief, right? Is a title of honor expressive of respect and reverence with which servants greet their masters, right? This title is given to God, which is supposed to be Yahawah, right? Which God is the next title, and they also have beside it the Messiah, which is Yahawashi, the Anointed, which is the next title, right? So and the word host, right? Lord of it says Lord of Sabaoth, right? Lord of armies of Israel, of those who are under the leadership and protection of Yahawah, maintaining his cause in war, right? So Yahawah Bashem Yahushai I keep you, right? Them a lead we because we are under protection because we are fight this war, right? Down here it says heavenly hosts. When I say heavenly hosts, it basically means the stars, the sun, and it basically give it the Hebrew origin, right? Which is Tazabaha, right? Which means that which goes forth, army, warfare, host, army, host of organized army, host of angels, of sun, moon, star, of whole creation, warfare, service, go to war, service. So depending on the on the sentence, you will know which one of these to apply, right? Um, Moving forward, right? Now this is Matthew chapter 1 verse 21. Right? So we have Yahawah, which is the God of Israel, the God of heaven and earth, right? God Almighty, Allah Shadia, right? The great the Almighty power, great and terrible power, the demon like power, right? Now this is for Yahawashi, right? It says, and he shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahawashi, which is his proper name, right? For he shall save his people from their sins, which Yahawashi mean what? He is the deliverer, right? Let's so jump into that real quick. And look up the songs, right? It tells you that basically is a transliteration for the word Joshua, right? And when I look up the word Joshua, it means it is Yahawashi, meaning um he saves, basically, that short and to the point, right? But he also has titles, right? Now all this was done that it might be fulfilled which was spoken of Yahawah by the prophet, saying, behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted, God is with us. And as we read in the previous breakdown, that a cognomen can be a word or a phrase. Now, God is with us is a phrase, right? I'm going to look up the word Emmanuel, right? God is with us, and we go to the Hebrew origin, right? This is I I am a one wa Allah, right? I am a one Allah, which basically the first part is I am a, which basically mean with or together, right? And the second part is Allah, right? God, power, right? Strength, power. So meaning that what the most you say that's a title, that's one of Yahawashi title, yo, Emmanuel, right? Or I am a Walla. I'm a I'm wa Allah, right? Now when I read Matthew 1, what is happening? Slack, read Matthew chapter 1 and go verse Slack, okay. See it on our phone today. Matthew 1 verse 13, right? Verse 16, Slack. Matthew 1 verse 16, it says, and Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Yahawashi, who is called Christ, right? I'll look up the title Christ, what it means, right? Which is Mashiach, right? Mashiach meaning the anointed. Now the Greek, you see Christos, which basically means anointed. Christ was the Messiah, the Son of God. The Son of God is also a title, right? Anointed, the Messiah, right? And we just run through it quick again. The purpose of the anointed, right? Often to the king of Israel, right? And it says, of the coming king of whom the Jews expected to be the savior of their nation and the author of their highest felicity. Meaning, say that are the purpose of the Messiah, right? He's a king, and he also come to give deliverance. Also, the priests were anointed as well, right? So one of the titles of Yahawashi was the anointed, also was the title of Cyrus, but the anointed which is come and save is Yahawashi, that's his proper name, right? So moving on, right? We'll move on to the disciples now, right? So Matthew, not Matthew, Mark, Salakia. This is Mark 3, starting at verse 16. It says, and Simon is surnamed, we already going at this in the last video, gave the name, right? Peter, right? And look up the word Peter, what it means. It says a rock or a stone, right? So Peter was basically as him tell Peter, say, look here, me go make you the foundation, right? And everybody I go build upon him because what? Him the head disciple, him the head of the church, right? So moving on, it says, and James the son of Zebedee, and John the brother of James, and his surname them, give them a name, Boanerges, which is the sons of thunder, right? I will go I look up this word, right? It says Boanerges, sons of thunder, a nickname given to James and John, the sons of Zebedee by the Lord, by Yahawashi. The name seemed to denote fiery and destructive zeal that may be likened to a thunderstorm, right? And I think James and John, they say fire for come down from heaven, and basically he to destroy them. And Yahawashi asked them if them think say them people are more sinner than the others, right? Roughly paraphrasing. Brothers can check out the story, right? And when I go into the Hebrew, right? It tell you son child from the Hebrew word born, but it give a corresponding thing. You know the Masoretes, some of them boil points and all type of shit, right? And it says sons. F says sons as characterization, as in sons of justice or sons of God, right? It come with a title. When you are son of something, basically it's a title, right? Son of righteousness, son of man, son of David, right? Says a member of a guild, order, or class. So once you can basically say we are sons of great millstone, because I think we can say we're one class or one camp or one guild in a sense. I think a guild is a basically a collective group, right? Me if you double check that, but the last time I looked up, I think that it mean, right? Now that are sons, right? And we'll look up the word thunder, right? Slovakia lose that a while ago. Sons of Thunder. The Sons of Slovakia came. Right? So you can tell say how them brother here is basically they are no nonsense, right? From the word thunder come from the Hebrew ragaz, basically mean rich, right? So them be zealous, them be very zealous to be enraged, right? um liken unto what? A terrible quake, rage, quiver, the root of the word, disquieted, excited, right? Enraged, tremble, disturbed. So basically, as I say, it only hot for the truth, right? So you have the rock, which is the foundation, and you have the two zealous ones, the sons of thunder, right? It says Matthew, no, Mark 3 verse 18 again, and Andrew and Philip and Bartholomew and Matthew and Thomas and James the son of Alphaeus. So that show that I'm titled right there. This comment I tell him differentiate which James it talk about, right? See how titles can help play a role, right? And but that name, but it shows that name real name. The title is son of Alphaeus. The real name, his proper name was James, right? And Tacitus and Simeon the Canaanite, right? Now look up the word Canaanite, you mean Simon the Zealot, right? So he more than likely he was a part of the Zealots back then before in come on to Yahawashi. And if I'm not mistaken, Tacitus is also a surname, right? Yahawashi surname him Tacitus as well, right? And it means large-hearted or courageous, right? So Tacitus, he basically the bull in the spirit, right? Based off of what is I said, right? He was a very courageous fellow. So I see Yahawashi basically I give a description of the personalities of his disciples, right? Um, wait, let me have one next. surname Peter. Hold on. Slack your Akim. Yes, and Libaeus, so Tacitus' real name or his proper name was Libaeus, right? Surname Tacitus, so basically the courageous, right? Going down, it says Acts 12 verse 12, and when they considered the thing, he came to the house of Mary, the mother of John, right? So Mary get the title, what? Mother of John, if you know what, which Mary to talk about, but her proper name is Mary. Her proper name is not Mother of John, right? That's why Yahawashi's proper name is not Christ, right? Whose surname was Mark, where many were gathered together praying. Now look up the word Mark right here and here. Why in surname in Mark, right? A defense, right? So basically you can tell say probably in the know of a fight or in the strong in terms of the defense of the gospel, which basically the more think of the first one because Paul never really want to walk with him because he stopped the work. So probably it's just a you could have fight or something like that. Who to tell, right? But hey, this is all we have, right? So when I said that, but it could be. So I think that's everything, right? Hope your brothers were edified throughout all of this. So now we see why Christ have so many names, right? But Yahawashi, the Messiah, have a proper name, and that name is Yahawashi, not Christ. You can call him whatever you feel like, right? You call him a title, it's just a general thing. You not really acknowledge him as you're supposed to. Now, you want to acknowledge somebody the real way, give them respect of calling them real name, right? That's why even we, when we're there, pastor, we say what? We name, we tribe, and we nation, right? So with that, we like to say all praises to Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways, pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. Shalom.